his eye getting bigger or what, by one of the parts of the body. That's not Darwinism evolution. When he saw that this question we are asking, when he said no, it takes a long time, and our lifespan does not allow us to see. So no, there was no any type of animal that believe in billions of years, and there's a time for it to evolve to different type of species. You know what I mean? So my point here, that's what they teach you in the school. That's what I was speaking to my brother Abdullah here. What is taking place now in our schools, our universities, misinformations from the scientists. You know, the truth that the scientist has is not universal truth. Like me and you can't really test it. They have to tell us what is the truth. So they can do what? Manipulate it. But when God told us about the truth, he said, you reflect upon the creation of this universe, the day and the night. You see what I'm saying? The law. Even, okay, how come there is a law in the universe? Who put this law? It's random. So are you telling me, okay, would you accept that if I tell you the computer you are using was made random? And the law that it has?
The composition of the computer, it's like you can say, I mean, you make that for any argument, like this could have all been random, like we could have been any other species, but we just happen to be human.
You can reject it. Look, can I create something if I don't have a knowledge of? No. Okay. Can I create something if I'm completely paralyzed? No. So in order for you to create something or to make something, it is required what? Knowledge, ability.
Yeah, but that doesn't prove it.
Now you know before you with me. Now you with me first. So how is creation came to existence? Can this universe be created by ignorant thing? Huh? By nothing.
Do you think something can come from nothing?
Or create by nothing? What do you say? Yes.
If something doesn't come from nothing, how did the first Big Bang come?
Well, the Big Bang isn't like it didn't come from nothing. There was something smaller than the size of an atom.
Where did that come
Heat, density, it was there forever.
Really?
And just like
Something that exists
God
forever?
was there forever.
But it didn't just do it itself. Bam, out of nowhere.
You look at you, but you not speaking to you. Look after yourself. What's your name?
Jaeger.
Yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Shamsi, yeah? Look after yourself. You look and do it. Because I'm gonna go inshallah.
It is an existence infinitely, it's from time since eternity, and that is not scientific.
Yeah.
I'll give you an analogy. For example, let's say you wanted to borrow a book from the library, and there was an infinite number of people in front of you. Yes? Would you ever get a book?
No.
And that is exactly what it is. Basically, this earth wouldn't exist if there was something as infinite rush in the universe is today. So that is not very scientific to say something exists for eternity.
Well, yeah, but that's the same with like religion, saying that there was a God who existed forever, and then we just popped up.
And that's where faith comes in, because you see, if you're going to rely on science, then you cannot just say that I believe by faith that this is infinite. Right?
Well,
then you're kind of contradicting the scientific perspective, which you want to.
But we know that there was something that like a Big Bang occurred that created the universe through like the.
Oh no, I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing that. I'm saying that what caused that? Do you believe in the principle of cause and effect?
Yeah.
Okay, so for everything that you see around, there's a cause for it. So what caused this Big Bang if there was nothing before it?
Well, it was. I mean, I guess you could say there was a creator. I mean, that doesn't contradict those scientific principles. But
So you're open to the.
well, yeah, no, I don't disagree with anybody that says it's that. But then there's religious principles that contradict science, and science has evidence to prove it.
Actually, religion is not at odds with science. They accept many things from
Yeah,
science,
but-
and especially in Islam, we are not at odds with science. Okay, maybe there's certain things we are. Like for example, many scientists who say that there is no intelligent being out there. There's no.
Yeah,
in
but
other
those
words,
are
there's no
things that
God.
neither side can prove.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Neither can you prove what
Yeah.
existed before or how the Big Bang occurred. So, what is the difference between you and the people of faith or believing in religion?
Well,
Because you believe
the
by
difference,
faith
though-
that this Big Bang occurred by itself somehow. We don't know how.
Yeah.
You see, that's faith. That's by faith at the end of the day. And we believe by faith in God. So, what is it?
Yeah, but it contradicts science when you come to things like for Christianity, there was someone who rose from the dead, or
Leave Christianity alone. We are Muslims.
yeah. But I'm just saying, any religion has things like that where it's where it defies physics. It couldn't have actually occurred, and it doesn't occur now, right? Like nobody can die.
Give me an example from
Come back
Islam
to
that
life.
you think is something that is with at all to
I don't know. I
science.
mean, is there anything where there's someone who dies or comes back or anything? I mean, it's all just like,
Comes back to life.
yeah.
I mean, that is possible, but not that I know of anyone who's come back.
Well, is it? I mean, I don't know much about Islam.
Islam.
Yeah.
So in Islam, we believe that there is one God, yes, and He is someone who is independent, and He's unique, and He's one, and He does not depend on anyone. And this unique creator who's created everything. Yes, He's the one who originated life on earth. He's the one who created the universe and so on. So you see, we believe that there is a higher being before anything was created, who created all these things. These things are not random. I mean, if you look at the complexity of our own bodies, or look at the complexity of the universe, yes, even though they're complex, there's a harmony about it.
The multiverse theory, there's multiple universes and we just happen to be in one.
Even if it's multiverse, there has to be a cause, you see.
Well, there could be
whether it's
tons.
one or multiple, the same principle applies for
Yeah,
everyone.
well, maybe
What is this?
life can't exist on any of the other ones, and we just happen to be on this one. There is life that can occur in this universe, and we happen to be on the one planet where life can exist, and we exist here. So that could be random without intelligence.
No, it's not random.
design.
That's the thing. How can it be random when you look at when you look at a single cell? Yeah, take a single cell from the body, which your body has like millions of them. Yes? A single cell, for it to appear by itself, is something unfathomable. Yes. So you got the cell, you got the second. That's the reason to this day they haven't got any evidence to bring about into existence a single cell. Forget about the complex universe and everything else. Let's talk about the building blocks, the atoms, the molecules. For them to come about by themselves, yes? For amino acids to come about and fix together and make life, it's all to believe all this happened randomly. It is akin to you believing that you take a lot of metal scrap from all the different cars and everything and all the engines and you just dump them into a big dump, yes, in a scrapyard, and then one day automatically by random in a random mode or whatever it is, yes, it just assembles itself into a mighty aircraft.
Well,
It is basically saying that when you say everything in this universe,
well, not
it is
necessarily. I
random.
mean, if you apply like the multiverse, you could be like you do, put random parts together, and you do it millions of times or thousands of times.
Multiverse just makes it even
No, I'm just saying, and then eventually one of those probably will work.
So
right?
where are all the parts? Where are all the universes that failed? For that theory to be true,
Well, we
you're
know
saying-
we do know that there is at least one other universe because we look at the cosmological background. When the universe was, it's 300,000 years after the Big Bang. When the universe was extremely dense, and you can actually see what's there, and you can see like large blue quartz, which is an electromagnetic pole from something outside of our universe, which would, and in order for there to be something there, it would have to be within another universe, meaning there's one more universe than
Yeah,
our
but
own.
you know that is the infinite regression I was talking about.
Yeah, but
you
I'm
cannot
saying
have that
that's-
because
that's- I
that's
mean-
scientifically impossible. Because you would never have a single universe if you believed in that. It's like like I told you, when you go to a library, you want to borrow a book, and you got infinite number of people in front of you, you will never get a book.
Yeah.
Yes, so that fails on so many levels to believe that these multiple universes are the proof of there being all this coming to existence from randomness and from nothing.
Well, it's not.
To believe that something comes from nothing itself is kind of absurd, because what is nothing? Nothing is the absence of everything. That's how I would define it.
Yeah, but I'm saying if
How
you're
can I-
going to attribute it to a god, then how did the god get there? That
God,
would-
God by definition is uncreated. Yes?
Yeah,
And He is
well-
the cause of all that exists in this world. So by definition, it's like you saying, how can a triangle have three sides? By definition, you can call a triangle only a triangle if it has three sides. For you to ask who created God, that is a non-question. Because God by
How did
definition,
it get there?
that's what I'm saying, God by definition is self-existing, just like a triangle by definition is with three sides. It's, like I said, it's as absurd as you asking, why does a triangle have three sides? Because for you to define the triangle, the first thing you need to know is the three sides. If it has four sides, would you call it a triangle? If it has two sides, would you call it a triangle? Why? Because when you talk about a triangle, you have certain characteristics of a triangle which you think about. Yes, and the same applies to God. God by definition is self-existing, yes, and He does not need to have a creator because He is the creator, the first cause of everything.
So you're saying he was there forever?
He was eternally
outside of
existing.
time, outside the boundaries of time.
Because that is the definition of God. He's self-existing, yes, since eternity.
So then,
So then,
I mean, then why couldn't you apply that same logic to the
because
point smaller than an atom?
Because you see, God is someone who has intelligence. He's someone who's basically got a plan. He's someone who's able to think. Do you think the universe has that? Does the universe have a mind, a will, ability to create things by itself? It doesn't. It's an object. Like the sun is an object and the moon is an object. Yes? And these will one day disintegrate and disappear and die off. But God will never die off. Everything comes to an end. You know, whether you're an atheist or a theist or whatever you want to call yourself, one thing is certain, one thing is a fact which no one can deny, which is death. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now imagine one day, yes, when you will die, and what I'm telling you everything about the existence of God, about the afterlife, and so on, all these things. Imagine all this is true. So one day when you close your eyes and you're dead, and you realize that what I was told in Speaker's Corner on what is it, the 10th of July, yes, that all this now is true. What will you do then? Because by that time it'll be too late for you to ask God for
That's
redemption.
Pascal's wager. I can say that to you about any other religion. Like, are you scared of any other hells?
Fair
when
enough. You
wake
can
up
look
and
at other
find-
religions once you have
saying that,
accepted
I mean-
God. Yes, then you can look into religion. No problem.
Well, I'm just saying that's like you saying that, you know, what would I do when I die and then wake up and realize that what you said was true? Well, what if you die and then you wake up and realize that Scientology is true? I mean, you could say that about. I'm saying when you, I mean, that could
we
be
did-
to any hell though.
you know-
Are you scared of other hells? Of
I'm
other
not.
religions?
Actually, I look into other religions. I
I'm
study
not
them.
scared of it.
And if I was scared, I wouldn't study them. I would just say, oh, my religion is the truth, and that's it. I'm open-minded. I can actually go and research other religions. And when I look at it, you know, there's one principle I go by when I look at other religions. Okay, it says in the Quran that if this book is from anyone other than God, surely you will find contradictions and discrepancies in it. Now, that principle is what I apply to every other scripture that claims to be from God. Because you know, for me, God is someone who's perfect and who does not make mistakes, who does not contradict himself. And if I go by this principle and look at, for example, the Bible, the Old Testament or the New Testament, I find lots of contradictions in there. Okay, so I did look at it. It's not like I'm close-minded. I did look at them, and that is how I come to the conclusion that no, this cannot be from God. Because God doesn't make mistakes. God doesn't have errors in his book. Where is the credibility of a book if it's claiming to be from God if there are mistakes in it? You see, the credibility goes out the window for me.
Yeah.
And I do the same because the Quran actually challenges you to find those contradictions in the Quran. By using this principle for itself first, and then for other books, it is challenging mankind. Which means, you know, like the Quran, if it has something to hide, it wouldn't give you a challenge, would it? It'll tell you that only this, if Allah is certain that this book is something that will be preserved, and that is the truth, and that is something which does not have contradictions in it. And this is a challenge open for what now? More than 1400 plus years? Yeah? And today also, this challenge is open to anyone and everyone. So yeah, but going back to the Pascal's wager, what will you do in that case?
Well, but it's illogical to ask that question.
Why is it illogical?
Well, because
I think it's a fair question.
if you ask, well, you're asking me that if I, you know, I die and then I realize there's life after death and everything you said was true. I mean, that doesn't really make much sense because it would be.
Why would it not be?
Because there's so many religions. So if I ask you, you know, if you die and then you realize that Christianity is real, or
No, but
you
I've already
realize
given you an
that-
answer to that.
Yeah, well,
I've
you're
already
saying
told you
that
that
you
I
say
have
there's
researched into
contradictions,
it.
but I mean, there's lots of different answers for that. I mean, there still could be a Christian God, the Bible was rewritten of human error.
Fair enough. No, you can ask that question, no problem. But the thing is, I have already looked into those religions, and I've come to the conclusion that no, Islam is the truth. But have you done the same? Have you actually researched the religions, the possibility of there being a God, the possibility of there being an afterlife? Yes, the possibility that your life today is not just to live, to eat, to procreate, and to die. There's a meaning to life other than just this 70, 80, 90, whatever 100 years that we're going to live. After this, there's a life after that. I'm saying, what if there is a possibility? Yes, let's say you research all the religions, and whatever you have come to the truth and realizing that okay, there is a possibility that this religion has got some truth in it. And then, have you actually prepared for that, the afterlife? And that is what I'm saying. Are you willing to gamble that?
Religion, so I mean, it's like, yeah, but I mean, But like Buddhism, right? There's a very good chance, just as much as Islam, that those two religions would exist. They have the same amount of chances Hinduism or any religion where they don't.
How do you know they have the same amount of chances? Have you actually studied research?
Well, no, I'm just saying that. I mean, Buddhism, I did. Like for example, Buddhism doesn't. Well, there's a lot.
Buddhism doesn't believe in God.
Well, you don't have to believe in God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not part of their belief.
But they believe in karma and reincarnation, different levels, and if you're very bad in your life, you can end up in this hell-like realm for reincarnation. And
what do you think about that?
Well, I'm just saying I don't believe in that. But then,
what do you think about that?
What?
You don't have to believe in it. What do you think about the rationality of reincarnation?
Well,
is there any rationality in it?
It's the same as an afterlife to me. I mean,
it's the same.
Yeah, the same.
How is the same? The afterlife, how it works is basically it's based on your life here. Yes, I just explained from the Islamic perspective, and also from I think the Abrahamic faith perspective, from Judaism and Christianity. Maybe not so much Christianity, but Judaism. So it's basically the way you lead your life will determine your afterlife. So you lead a good life, worship of God, not associating partners with Him, okay, and not believing in any blasphemous things. So these are the things which basically will lead you to salvation. Ultimately, it's the mercy of God Himself, but these are the things which you have to do. So it's not something, it's basically, if you do good, yes, in this life, and you abide by the laws of God, then you will be successful in the afterlife. Now, to me, that is not something absurd, that is not irrational. That is something kind of, which I would think is perfectly logical. But take the instance of reincarnation, for example. Say, for example, somebody has done something really bad in their life, and they turn up as a, I don't know, maybe a bug, a cockroach or something.
Yeah.
So what is the best thing a bug has to do to become a man again?
Think of yourself, buddy.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the reincarnation, it's each life you still, in their belief, they still have the exact same amount of consciousness as a person would have.
Really?
So yeah.
So a bug will still think like a man.
Yeah.
Really?
So that's why they would have to make the same decisions. And but when you're really bad, right, like based on your current life, then you would end up in something that resembles
So what is
hell.
the best thing a bug needs to do to become a man again?
Well, it would the same that a man would do, but it wouldn't mean
give charity, help the elderly.
I mean,
seriously?
I don't know the life of a cockroach, but if you are, bad, you would go to a realm that would resemble hell, or if you're really good, you would go to something that resembles heaven, unless you do all of your meditation and your entire life is right, and you reach enlightenment, and then you go to nirvana.
I can understand from a human perspective, yes, you can do that. But for a cockroach, what is it you can do? I mean, think about it, think rationally, and you tell me what is the best thing a cockroach needs to do to become a man again.
Well, if you don't do much good and you don't do much bad, right, which would apply to that, then you'd go back to your human realm, and that's like you'd be reincarnated as a human again, and then you could.
So what is it they have to do? Let's say a good cockroach. What does a good cockroach do?
Well, if they do nothing, because they're just
they do
bugs,
nothing.
if they do nothing, then
they do a lot of damage. And they do.
Well, then they'd be reincarnated though. It's just back to a human if you don't really do either
so
one.
So a cockroach has to do nothing in order to become a man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's a very important subject. It's dominating the media currently.
Which one?
What you're talking about. It's on all the time.
Yeah, but I don't believe in a reincarnation or an afterlife. Because both of them would apply to like what you do in your current life, and I don't see the point to it. I think it was created by man because they're scared of death, and they just logically you would think like from our perspective you have a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? So then we think like, okay, with our simple perspectives or our simple mind, we would think that like, if something is here, it must have been created, so then there's a creator, and then you have God, and then the idea of God grew to
Isn't that more logical than us coming from nothing?
well, not really.
Really? So you think all of this just came from nothing?
Well, no, not nothing. I mean, it's the same thing though. This had to be a point that was smaller than an atom had to be there forever, just as a God would have been there forever.
Yeah, that's unscientific, I'm telling you. Infinite regression is not very scientific. Because then you wouldn't exist if you believe in that. Because then what you're saying is that
you cannot have nothing and something alongside each other. It's as simple as that.
But it's the same
it's
idea.
a cause and effect, You're not. How is the effect going to come if there's no cause for it? And if there is a cause, what is that?
Well, that's the same idea for God, though. If nothing
No,
created
God is the first cause, I'm telling you.
Well, then you could say that about the point. that created the Big Bang. It was there.
The Big Bang doesn't have consciousness like God does.
Well, how do you know?
Because does it?
Maybe the point smaller than an atom had intelligence.
Are you saying that point smaller than the atom or whatever it is has a brain and consciousnness?
Yeah, well, not a brain.
Oh, your mom's putting
Consciousness.
That's fine, no problem.
Teacher and Allah knew before that baby was born he's going to fail the test.
Yes, Allah knows.